Okay. So I'm going to create a bucket real quick here. And this bucket is going to be in Ohio. Okay. My bucket, my replicated bucket trainer 2021. Right. All right. Let me see. So I have a bucket in Ohio. I have a bucket in Northern Virginia. All right. So I'm going to go ahead here and get this guy. And here, management replication rules. Get replication rules. I'm going to call it my replication rule. Right. Status, choose whether the rule will be enabled or disabled when created. Enable, priority 0. You know, limit the scope of rule or using one filter. This rule applies to all objects that includes the versions, right? And choose a bucket in this account. Perfect. This account, I'm going to choose this guy here in Ohio, right? Choose the path. Okay. There's no enable versioning for this particular bucket. So the application requires versioning to be enabled. Why? Because the origin bucket has versioning, right? So I'm going to enable versioning. And encryption, replicate objects encrypted with this guy. You can have a replication type control. Replication type control replicates 99.99% of new objects within. I'm going to have this. And delete markers created by S3. Delete operation will be replicated. I don't have a delete marker now, but I will select it just in case. And replicate metadata changes made to replicas in this bucket to destination bucket. Save. Okay, I have to choose an IAM role. Okay. Okay, one moment. There's an IAM role for this.
Is this for creating it in a new region?
Huh?
Is this for creating it in a new region, a bucket?
For replicating it.
Oh, replicating it.
The bucket is already created. The bucket is already created. Replication. Okay. Right. So the following shows a trust policy where you identify S3 as the service principal who can assume the role. Okay, I have to create an IAM role. Okay. So let me create a role. Let's see if this works. Okay. So I'm going to create a role. I'm going to go to IAM. And I am here. So I'm going to create a role here, row. And row BS3. S3. S3 here. Next permissions. Create a policy. I have to create a policy. So here, let me start from the beginning. Okay. So I'm going to create a policy first, right? And then I'm going to attach the policy to a role, and then I'm going to use the role. So I'm going to create a policy, create a policy here. Policy is a document, so I can use JSON here. And I copy this from the AWS documentation, right? And it says that it has 2 errors. What are the errors? and just copy this from AWS. Okay, so this allows the principal S3 and to assume the role. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and tags. It's telling me there are two errors. What are the errors? Missing resource, add a resource and that resource name. Okay.
Is it the citation after statement?
No, it's just the service S3. Okay, let me copy this one. Source bucket, okay? The source bucket is going to be this one, right? Okay, let me see the buckets that I have. So the source bucket, hey, I only have one bucket. Where's the other bucket? I created two buckets, right? What's going on here? Okay, good. So this is the source bucket. Okay, so let me put this here in the policy. Okay, this means every object inside the bucket. And then source bucket again. And then the destination bucket. Destination bucket is this guy here. Come here to the IAM policy here. This is taken from the AWS documentation. Okay. All right, so there's no error now. Let's see if this works. Okay, so now next tags. Tag is, let me say, name S3 replication cross region replication policy. Okay, and guys, I'm going to paste on Slack. I'm gonna paste the policy. Okay, you can find there that, and then I'm gonna name this cross. Okay, S3 cross replication policy. Let's see if this works, guys. Right? Create the policy. Right? It's creating the policy. We have to wait. I don't know why it's taking so long. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. No idea why it's taking so long. It doesn't take that long to create a policy. All right, this is not normal. I don't know what's going on here. And I have to do it again. I can't believe it. So the source bucket, the destination bucket, the source bucket. Okay, tags, no tag. But S3 cross. Let me do something here just in case I lose this guy again. So let me copy this. I don't have to do it again. So, and then cross-region replication, and then policy. All right. Then I create the policy. What's going on here? Oh, you see, it doesn't take that long. That's why. So I have this guy now. What I have to do is now create a role. So now I create a role and attach that policy. So the role is going to be for S3. S3 is here. And then I'm going to add the permissions and I'm going to type S3 cross region replication is right here. So I select this policy, tags, review, and then I'm going to give it a name. So S3 cross region replication role, right? So I have created a policy that contains the permissions, and then I attach the policy to the role, right? And now the role is the one that's going to allow for communication between the buckets, okay? So now let me see if this works, guys. So I'm here. I'm going to look for the role right here. I'm going to refresh this because the role wasn't created before. Now I'm going to look for cross-region replication role. Okay. Let me see. Save. Okay. Okay. So let us see this guy. Okay. Okay, so let me take a look at the other bucket. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So now what I have to do is, let me see. Let me upload a bucket, an object here in this guy. So I'm going to upload another object. Let me see here. Okay. So I've loaded this guy. in my bucket trainer guy. So these are the options that I have here right now. I just uploaded this guy. Let me take a look at the other guy. I don't think this is properly working here. Yeah, it will take some time for that to happen because okay, object management. Okay, so let me take a look at the management here. Let me take up the management section here. I see here that yeah, it may take some time between one region and another one. Yeah. So let me take a look at the object and then okay, properties, object management overview, the following object enable. It's right here, guys. See? The object is here. All right, let me see. So we were able to do it. So here we have the replicated guys, objects is right here. So we were able to replicate one object from one region to another. If you take a look at this particular bucket, this bucket is created in Ohio, right? And this bucket is created in Northern Virginia. So I uploaded this file here, right?
Yeah.
It's right here. And if I take a look at the bucket, I see that that particular guy was replicated here, right? So let me do the same. Let me do the same again. Okay. So the row was correct. So now we go ahead and upload something, right? Let me create another file here and let me call it nano replication test, right? Replication test, right? And now we're gonna say I am being replicated, right? Control, save, yes. So I'm gonna go ahead and upload it. So I'm gonna upload replication test, right? Look for R here. R, where are you? R, right here. I'm being replicated. So now this guy has a versioning. This guy has versioning, so it's uploaded successfully. Right now, if I take a look at the bucket, it says replication test. I see here the guy, right? And I can see there's a version here, replication text, right? It didn't gave it what okay. Replication test is right here, right? It has a version ID, perfect. Let me take a look at the guy here. I click on the file and since when it says management configuration, replication status complete. So let us take a look at the other bucket and see. So this is the other bucket. Let me refresh this, make it a little smaller here, right? And I take a look at the objects. So as you can see, replication test was replicated. And guys, we have the versions too. You see the versions. So it's basically replicating everything from one bucket to another. And that's what we call cross-region replication. Okay, guys?
Yeah.
So that's what we have here. What's the most important, what is the highlight of this this lesson, this demonstration? The policy that I created. The policy. If I don't create a policy and a role, I would not be able to replicate the data from one bucket to another in a different region. I can't. So I have to have my policy, my role, right here. So take a look at the permissions. Well, actually, this is where the guy is, this row here that I created, that has this policy. This is the policy that allows me to create that. So in the page that I gave you, you guys can take a look at the policy and then change what it says source bucket, change it to the source bucket. And don't forget, let me copy this guy. Completely. Don't forget to put here, you don't have to do it, but here you have to do this /star, which means that it's everything that the bucket contains, right? And everything that the bucket contains. And this is the ARN. What is the ARN? The Amazon Resource Name. Almost all services in AWS, when you create a resource, an ARN is assigned to it. It's Amazon Resource Name. Okay. So I'm going to post the policy. What you have to do is just change the
Source.
the names of the buckets, right?
Yeah. The
That's
source
it.
bucket.
Right? Very good. And that's, you can take a look at the documentation, AWS documentation, and you will be able to see that policy there, the generic one, the one that is